Welcome into Foxborough Rush. What a rush. If you love this show, make sure you check out Hold My Banner, available on Nesson as well. Ante Campbell and I are walking with you to Banner 19, baby. Check it out. Hold My Banner is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get all your podcast needs.
What's up? What's happening? It's Foxborough Rush. George Balekji with Travis Thomas.
Woo!
Trav.
Woo!
How you feeling post-draft, my man?
I feel good. I know we're going to give out some grades for the draft. I'm ready, bro. I brought my apple. You know, every teacher has an apple on the desk. Yeah. I'm ready to rock and roll, bro.
Worms in it? Nah.
No,
good?
Fresh apples.
Got your
only.
pencil?
Fresh. Low-key, Macintosh apples and Granny Smith apples.
Which ones are the Macintosh?
I don't know. It's a brand name. I mean,
they're
red.
Smith? Which one's
Granny Smith are like green.
Oh, green stinks.
What?
Green apple flavored anything sucks.
Come on, bro.
You know it doesn't suck, the Patriots draft class.
Facts.
All right, we'll be grading it. We'll give out our individual grades per pick.
Cool.
Then we're going to go and just talk draft, man. Like, let's have fun. It won't be the last episode we'll talk draft. You know I'll make sure of that.
I'm sure.
Let's talk the draft.
All right.
The big D.
The
you know
overarching,
yes.
Yeah.
All right. BDE, big draft energy. That's what we're bringing this episode.
That's wild.
And then we got a monster mailbag on the back end of this one. You don't like that? It's good?
It's wild. You're a wild cat is what you are.
All right, Patriots made 11 draft picks in this draft.
So we're giving out 11
We're going to give out our grades.
All right.
Let's start with the star of the class. Travis, you give your grade, then I'll give mine. Okay. Starting with the star of the class, Will Campbell, 4th overall pick.
I know people were debating who was the best offensive lineman based off athleticism and measurements and all that nonsense. The tape don't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie. I'm giving an A. It was Will Campbell, and you had to make that move. I'm giving that pick an A.
A. Worst offensive line in the NFL. Got the best offensive lineman in this draft. I would have been an A+ if you take a swing and go Armand Membu and move him to left tackle. But, hey, you'll get an average tackle at best.
Yep.
Average tackle at worst. At best, you'll be getting an all-pro
guard.
All right, second pick, 38th overall, Travion Henderson, the surprise of the draft for the Pats, running back out of Ohio State.
I know a lot of people sort of frowned when you go running back this early. I did not. If you remember, I was beating the drum to go even earlier. I would have been great with Genty at 4, but I understand why you don't do it. So I love this. I'm going A. This guy's a home run hitter. You need playmakers on offense. That's what he provides at the running back position. A for me.
I'll go B. I like the pick. I love the player. I love the upside. But with the offensive tackles still on the board, yes, I'm talking tackles, with the pass catchers on the board and how deep this running back draft class, I'll give it a B. But I love the player, but it's who else was out there. We'll get more in depth on that. Okay. All right, third pick of the draft, Kyle Williams, a wide receiver out of Washington State, 69th overall. Nice pick.
I've come around on this one on draft night. I didn't love it. I like the player a lot. But I just thought when you look in the garage of wide receivers, you needed a big body Benz. And all I see in there is a bunch of Camrys. But listen, this kid has speed. Much like I said with Henderson, he is a home run hitter as well. I've come around. He's not as big and physical as I want, but I can't deny the playmaking ability. I'm going A here.
He's not that Mercedes-Benz, that like sexy draft pick of a wide receiver, but he can move, man. Some of those Toyotas and Hondas out there, you watch out for him. I give this an A. Vertical downfield threat. Plays bigger than his 5'11", 190 build. Really good at the catch point. Really good route runner. Good release off the line of scrimmage. This guy is going to be an immediate contributor and an immediate starter in this offense. Running 11 personnel, he'll be on the field. 12 personnel, he'll be on the field. Not worried about him. All right, 95th overall. Talking some more linemen. Jared Wilson, the center out of Georgia.
I mean, listen, we're getting in the weeds with offensive linemen at this point.
I can't wait for your later grades.
But to be fair, I'm going A here because it's about protection. And I'm all about that. I don't give a damn what position, guard, tackle, center, it doesn't matter. If you're there to protect Drake May and open up run holes for this putrid offensive line, I'm with it. I'm going A, and I think they can develop him. I don't think you have to rush him year one. You can bring him along slowly.
Yeah, center of the future with Jared Wilson.
That's right.
High IQ, athletic, a tight end in a center's body. High IQ, can't say it enough, and also played in multiple run schemes in the SEC. Either center of the future, I think he battles for snaps right off the bat. I give that an A. Craig Woodson, 106th overall, the safety out of Cal.
Listen, I don't know enough about him to give some A here. What I will do, because I like his size. He's a bigger safety. He's a physical safety. I think that works, especially when you got Gonzo in front of you. So I'll go B here.
Okay. I like that. I went B as well. 6 foot 200 can play all over.
Yeah.
Again, the value in it. Now, this is their guys, how the board fell. They go out and get him. I think they could have got him later on, but I'll get more into his fit. Joshua Farmer, 137th overall defensive tackle at Florida State.
Yeah.
One of the lone bright spots for the Seminoles this past season.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, big, strong, physical. That's usually a great program to take college kids into the NFL. I know they had a down year, but as you said, one of the lone highlights. I'm going to go B here. Solid pick here. And look, I don't think it was an area of need as much because of free agency, but you still need depth for sure, and you need young talent injected there. So I'll go B.
I'll go A. Top 100 prospect, felt at 137.
Yep.
He's there. A wrecker in the interior. Milton Williams, Christian Barmer will be the starters. That's that second line, that second wave of pass rushers.
Yep.
That'll be Joshua Farmer, along with this guy. 146th overall, Braden Swinson, edge rusher out of LSU.
Yeah, I wanted this team to address edge rusher a little sooner, but again, kind of going back to free agency, I get why they didn't,
Yeah.
you know. So here I'll go B. I mean, this is another kind of what I was saying with Florida State. This is LSU here. So any of these SEC guys as edge rushers or linebackers or corners, safeties, they all work. So I'm going to go B here in thoughts that this can work too. I just wish they had maybe addressed this a little sooner in the draft.
But you know what? That's a value pick. We'll get into it. Braden Swinson, he fell in their lap. I give this one an A. I think he could have been a top 110 player. He was made to rush the quarterback. He's not going to bring much in the run defense. He's not going to bring much on first and second down. But on passing downs, pin the earbacks.
Sure.
Again, that second line, that second wave. Braden Swinson, long arms, just a freak athlete. Coming out of the SEC, LSU, I like it. I give that draft pick an A. All right, this is where it gets interesting. Can't wait to hear you, man. It switches to the 6th round, 182nd overall. Andres Borregales, the kicker out of Miami.
This is what pisses me off. F. Kickers are not real football players. You don't tackle anyone. You don't catch anything.
Okay.
Like, you just kick. So I would hold tryouts like a JV team for my kicker. I don't give a rat's patootie about kickers. F. You mean to tell me you couldn't go get another receiver here or an offensive lineman or a running back for depth or a tight end and a really good tight end draft? You get a kicker here? F.
I go C on this one. Big leg. He's accurate. We'll talk about him more. But it's how the board falls. Devin Neal going 2 picks after. Well, they just took a running back in the 2nd round. Devin Neal, that is that Ramondre Stevenson replacement when his contract is up. Khalil Mullings out of Michigan, same thing. I'm with you. Or if they went with Chase Lunt, offensive tackle out of UConn, really athletic, maybe profiles as a guard, or Cameron Williams, the tackle out of Texas, I would have liked that route instead of going kicker at this point. All right, but then they bounce back. Marcus Bryant, the left tackle out of Missouri, 220th overall pick. Right?
I don't know anything about him. I know his teammate was great, but
We'll
I don't know
talk
anything about him.
Cool.
Look, he's a tackle. That's all I need to know. A.
I give it a B. Sure, A. I like your grade. Maybe I'm being a tough grader
Offensive
here.
line.
Exactly. I like it. All right, 251st overall.
Oh, God.
Long snapper out of Vanderbilt, Julian Ashby. What's the grade, T?
Here we go again. I mean, listen, I just said like a JV team. I would set up a tryout for kickers. You know who else would be on that sign-up sheet and the sign for me promoting that I'm having tryouts? Long snappers. Come on down. If you're a long snapper and a kicker and a punter, you could try out for the Patriots. I'm not wasting a draft pick on this guy. There are other areas on this roster that need to be addressed. What in the bleepity bleep are you doing taking a kicker and a long snapper for? Please. I mean, a G-damn long snapper? F.
B+. 7th to last pick in the draft. Most coveted long snapper. You'd have gotten to a bidding war
Most coveted long snapper.
in this draft. Number 1 ranked long snapper.
Said no one ever.
B+. We'll get into it more.
Jesus Christ.
Kobe Minor, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft, cornerback out of Memphis, 257th overall. What's a grade here, T?
I like him. I didn't love what the Patriots social team did when they drafted him. I know that was a little
interesting.
That was a little out of pocket, but
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, for Mr. Irrelevant, the kid can play. I'll go A here. Should have been taking this more in the draft instead of stupid kickers and long snappers.
I love the difference in philosophies. F. You have Elijah Badger.
You give a corner an F?
You have Elijah Badger, Donovan Edwards, Holland Pierce all on the board. And you end up going with a cornerback that has nothing elite about him. 5'11", just under 190, 4.6 40, nothing crazy vertical. Looking at his measurements, nothing insane there. I want to build out the offensive room. This is a guy you're taking a flyer on undrafted free agent, no issue. You don't go Donovan Edwards, the next Aaron Jones. Well, he landed with the Jets. He's going to.
But you'll say that for him. But you won't say that for long snappers and kickers.
You know what? It's like 7th to last pick in the draft. You can make it up to me. All right, who do you take with that last pick? You failed. You went with the corner. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, you're enjoying this conversation, you can catch new episodes of Foxborough Rush every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can hear from NFL draft experts like ESPN's Matt Miller,
yes, Lord,
NFL.com's Eric Edholm, and about all the latest news surrounding the Patriots as we work through the offseason. The draft is done. Will Campbell's in Foxborough. What do the Patriots do next? Find out on Foxborough Rush. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, wherever you get your podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, please, and subscribe. We would love you guys for it. And
that's where I take a
crazy.
kicker or a long snapper.
If you're going last pick or you're going undrafted free agent, maybe you have traits. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we both gave Will Campbell the A. Let's talk a little Travion Henderson quick.
Okay.
So, second round. And
what'd you give him? I gave him an A.
I gave him a B.
Okay.
So we're different here.
All right.
When that pick was made, I did
You did. I was with you.
With the board, how it was, Arante Ursary was there, Jalen Knoll was there. This draft, hey, I would like to say this too. Appreciate everyone that comments.
Yeah.
Love it. We're going to get to the mailbag. The mock drafts were fun. And I'm a person that says, well, I'm not going to take him in this mock because he won't be there. I'm never saying that again. Because Jalen Knoll fell all the way to be a top 80 pick, just make it.
Yeah.
Arante Ursary fell to just almost slipping outside the top 50.
Yeah.
Like, where some of these guys ended up going, and I'm talking dudes with zero character issue. Shoot, we'll talk Shedeur Sanders. I'm never again. I think I'm self-imposing a rule.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he won't be there. No. I'm saying that from now on. There is a randomness of the guys falling in the draft.
Yes.
You take them if they fall to your board.
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you with Ursary. That's who I wanted in that spot because I thought if you go Will Campbell and him back to back, you are sending a message that our offensive line is not only revamped, but we're here. Like we're not messing around.
Yeah.
And I also thought Ursary would be a nice insurance policy if Campbell struggles a bit and you could immediately move Campbell to guard and give Ursary a rock. But they didn't go that direction. And again, I sort of get why, because I think the philosophy was go protection first with Campbell, which was a no-brainer. We kind of saw that coming. It was the safest pick to make. And then they went home run guys for the next two picks.
Which is fine.
With Henderson and Williams, I'm saying. So, I got it. This is a playmaker at the running back position, and then we'll go a deep threat at the wide receiver position. So I get it. I get the philosophy behind it. I would have, if it was Ursary, I would have went A+ here because I think you would have solidified your line completely at that point.
Look, love the prospect, RB3 in this draft. Fast. Home run hitter, brings a lot of juice to the offense. Good contact balance, good vision, twitchy, great in pass pro, good catching. He'll take a short screen, 70 yards to the house, no issue. You got him at 38. And in the role he's going to play, that's a James White role, but just much higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Baishal Tutton, 70 picks later went. Jadon Blue, 111 picks later, got drafted. Brashard Smith, 190 picks later, was drafted. They could have gotten Luther Burden, who would have been somewhat of a project at receiver, would have been another slot and underneath guy. But guess what? Stephon Diggs isn't going to be here forever. Guess what? You could have still went Kyle Williams in the third round, and you could have taken him. You could have gotten 2 pass catchers.
That's right.
I didn't like because they picked him over other guys. And here's my theory, Trav. 2 picks prior, who did the Browns select? Quinshon Judkins, the other running back out of Ohio State, 36. I think the Patriots were locked in on Luther Burden. They thought maybe Travion Henderson could fall to them. Maybe they go offensive lineman. Judkins gets picked, and they perk up. They go, okay, there's going to be a run on running backs. We got to swing now. We got to go with this guy.
Which I get.
Or they didn't think he would fall to them, which is fine. Again, deep running back class. Tilton, Blue, Brashard Smith, they're going to make plays. They're going to be good in the NFL, in my opinion. Could have gotten them. And then Elliott Wolf goes, well, he could be a 3-down back. No, sir. When TreVeyon Henderson was at his best in Ohio State, they dialed back his touches to 11 a game.
Yeah, Judkins was good.
3 down back.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Judkins was a Ramondre Stevenson
That's
to
right.
what it's going to be now.
That's right.
3 down back?
Yeah.
That's 20 touches a game, brother. Minimum.
Yeah, but if he's a home run hitter, you'll take that because he's going to translate those into big plays and touchdowns.
R.J. Harvey went 22 picks later. Broncos would not have let TreVeyon Henderson get by them.
Yeah.
I would have taken R.J. Harvey.
I like Harvey, too.
He's a home run hitter.
Yep.
Screen game, receiving game.
More of a complete back.
No, Henderson's better. Harvey is pass catching, not as good in pass pro, more raw, unpolished. He's a wide receiver turned running back. But again, what's the role going to be? What's the fit going to be? I would have waited on a running back. I would have taken Burden. I would have taken Knoll. I would have taken Ursery. I would have gone a lot of different directions. When you look at how the board is, I would have went JT Tuimoloau, the D end, just all around great defensive end out of Ohio State.
Could have worked.
Will
too.
Johnson as a corner falls there. Nick scored. Femi Oladejo. Again, Trey Harris, big body receiver.
Yep.
Kyle Williams, so you came around. You did not like the pick.
I didn't like it on draft night.
Now you do. Let me hear it.
Well, it's just I understood it draft night.
Yeah.
You know, he's a splashy receiver. It was all about measurements for me. I just don't want another diminutive wide receiver.
Yeah.
I get it. Like he's a big playmaker and all that. But, you know, again, I understood it draft night and I understand it now too. And I can see it clearer now that the whole draft class is in. But I think with these particularly first 4 picks, it was protection and playmakers. And so for that, he is the right fit. I'm looking at this crowded arse wide receiver room, and I see a lot of the same player. I really do. I see a lot of clones out here. But we'll see. The kid is definitely a home run hitter. I know we've been using that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
But he is.
No, he is.
He can take the top off of defense. They're going to need that. Drake May can throw a football over those mountains. So you need someone who can go and get it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. That's why I went A for him.
Yeah, I just go A with this one. Downfield vertical threat.
Yeah.
His release package when he's coming off the line of scrimmage, the way he moves his feet, and the way he set ups DBs, Devontae Adams-esque, Odell Beckham Jr.-esque. With the setup, like he's crossing someone over on a basketball court, and then his footwork to decelerate, and then boom, hit the stick and go.
High praise.
He stacks them really well. I know. Right? And I hate making that comp.
I know.
Devontae Adams, height of his powers, top 2, not 2.
Probably
one of the best route runners to play the game. So I understand what I'm saying with Kyle Williams.
Yeah.
But you know why I love this? Tough over the middle, smaller guy, speedy, vertical threat down the field, or it could be short yardage. He reminds me of what Drake May had with Josh Downs at UNC.
Yeah.
2,000 yard receiving seasons.
I could see that.
And I was saying, mocks we were going through, hey, trade back in the first, see what the Colts want to move up because Jim Irsay's nuts, but see if you could get Josh Downs.
Yeah.
A former 3rd round pick. Kyle Williams, 3rd round pick. And I'm not making the comp on when they were picked.
No, I get you.
But in the game, I absolutely love this pick. Yeah. He's going to be great. People are getting caught up, too. We'll get into it in the mailbag. They're like, George, your assessment of Kyle Williams is so wrong. You're so stupid. Why? Because I said he's a wide receiver 3 day 1. He could become a 2. That's what he is, and that's fine.
What were people saying? He's a 1?
Yes.
What? Then they really hated me.
But you know what? Yeah, they did.
So I didn't like it.
But you know what it is? When you're running 11 and 12 personnel and he's always on the field, 1, 2, blue, red, I don't give a damn. Kyle Williams is going to catch a ball.
Right.
So don't get caught up in when I say wide receiver 2. I think that's more of an ability type thing. He can't be that number 1 focal point guy on your offense and carry it and be that threat. He can't. Zay Flowers can't. He's a little you got more juice than him, a little bigger too in the frame. He'll be a good 2, and you'll take him. Jared Wilson, we hit on him. Amazing footwork, man. Both gap schemes. Craig Woodson, this was another one, 106 overall. I do like it. So he's coming out of a scheme where it was a 2-4-5 defense in Cal. Cool. Terrell Williams will field a 5 defensive back type defense. He's played that deep third safety. He's covered in the slot. He's productive in the box. He's been a boundary safety as well.
Solid tackler.
Yes. High IQ. Dane Brugler's a beast. Last line on is good. A+ person. I get why you got him. Again, watching the board, think you could have got him later. And with pick 106, the guys that go after, you could have got a Ty Robinson. Again, go defensive tackle. And I know I like the Joshua Farmer one. Woody Marks, a running back. Again, that's another one. Good pass catching back. Provides that juice where could have fallen a little differently. So that's why I'm just a little skeptic, but I get it. And we'll get into it again. The rankings, the mocks, we can see a prospect one way. The draft is telling you how they see these players. The Patriots are telling you how they see Craig Woodson. There's a reason they took him at 106.
A safety with the last name Woodson that's 6 foot, 200 pounds, and a sure tackler with Gonzo in front of him.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yep.
And a decent pass rush.
Hey, this guy too, Joshua Farmer, man, 6'3", 305. His hands, 10-plus inch. It's big mitts. You latch on, you grab on, you don't let that tackle go.
That's right.
Get that inside leverage. 35-inch arms, you're touching them first like a boxer. Attacks gaps like a savage. And this is the perfect thing. The first wave of that defensive line, Harold Landry, Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, Keon White. The second wave, figure out the edge, Joshua Farmer.
Yeah.
Braden Swinson.
Yeah.
It's just you want wave after wave beating the crap out of offensive linemen. And you want Milton Williams, Christian Barmore to catch a breather. Joshua Farmer provides that. Braden Swinson, same thing, man. He played in that 4-2-5 scheme. So same thing. Always lined up outside of the offensive tackle. Second and long, third down, 2-point stance. Going to wreak havoc, man. Going to wreak havoc. I love those two picks.
Yeah.
And that's when, again, you mentioned with Kyle Williams, you see how the board fell in the vision. It's like, okay, makes sense.
Well, I also think, too, you talk about the first wave of the defensive line and then the second wave. I think that's a good point. But I also think we have to talk about Christian Barmore's health, which, we're all assuming is going to be all good.
Yeah.
But if it's not, this is insurance. So I understood it from that standpoint, too. I like this pick.
I get it 100%. Even if Barmore's good, you take him.
Even if he is. But if he's not, this is a little insurance policy.
I got to go through, see how many defensive linemen were drafted. It's like when the Celtics, it's like when the Warriors won the NBA championship. Everyone got shooters.
Yeah.
Then the Celtics won. Everyone's like, all right, we need big wings, athletic, elite athleticism that can shoot. Eagles won the Super Bowl. Everyone's going D-line, 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 D-line. Andres Borregales, let me talk to you real quick, team.
Good luck with this.
Number 1 ranked kicker, booted it 70 yards at his pro day.
Whatever, dude.
Bro, mentally tough, accurate for 45 or less. He missed 1 extra point in his college career. 1.
Mentally tough.
2023, led the nation in field goals made and attempted. 2024, 1 miss. Accurate, big leg, boom. That's what the sound is. Don't hate this draft pick. They need a kicker. They need a kicker. Hey, Trav, they need a kicker.
A lot of good kickers still available right now. Didn't get drafted. Just saying. This kid better be good, man. You will never hear the end of it. If this kid's not good, this is going to become a you problem. I'm just letting you know. Same with Mr. Long Snapper boy.
I just see getting in on Monday, like, hey, how was your weekend? Good, T. How was yours? Oh, it was good. It was good, G. You see Borregales? See how many you missed? I'm just going to be looking at you.
My weekend
was great. I know yours was. You know who wasn't? Borregales.
I'm going to be a tough friend. That's going to be a turbulent time in the bromance if this kid sucks. I'm just telling you.
Let me talk to you on Marcus Bryant quick. I won't talk long snapper with you, I promise.
Thank God.
I won't talk Mr. Irrelevant.
I'm fine with that.
6'7", 320.
Yes.
179, 10-yard split at 320 pounds and 6'7".
And he's a tackle, yes?
Yes.
Sign me up.
Left tackle that played opposite of Armand Membu. There's a reason he was taken in this point in the draft.
Yeah.
But big body, transferred up from SMU to Mizzou. Mm-hmm. Good run blocker, good developmental tackle. You'll take it, man. You'll take it.
Yeah, I will take that. I would like more of that. As opposed to using picks on kickers and long snappers, you could have got 2 or 3 of these cats. It's just me. Call me Cray.
Last one before we get on to our favorite. Actually, no. I'll put in my favorite picks in the draft, and I'm going to cheat a little bit.
All right.
So we'll go there. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, you're enjoying this conversation, you can catch new episodes of Foxborough Rush every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can hear from NFL draft experts like ESPN's Matt Miller,
yes, Lord.
NFL.com's Eric Edholm, and about all the latest news surrounding the Patriots as we work through the offseason. The draft is done. Will Campbell's in Foxborough. What do the Patriots do next? Find out on Foxborough Rush. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, wherever you get your podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, please, and subscribe. We would love you guys for it. Trav, let's talk big drafts.
All right.
Big D. BDE, big draft energy. Give me a draft you loved. What team?
Oh, I liked a lot of drafts.
All right, what did you love, my man?
You want me to go through them all?
Let's go one for.
I'll tell you my favorite.
Okay.
I'm looking at their draft class right now. I thought Chicago Bears won the draft.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I think the Texans and the Bears won the draft. The Bears, Loveland getting their tight end. Look, you and I talked about the kid from Tyler Warren from Penn State.
Yeah.
But we also talked about Loveland, and it was almost a 1A, 1B conversation. You and I were higher on Warren. But if their guy was Loveland, I can't knock it. And it's not like we, as in you and I, ever definitively said, well, no, it's Ty Warren and then a drop-off. We never said that. So Loveland I loved. Luther Burden, man, that's my sleeper. I mean, this dude's unbelievable. And they already have a really good wide receiving class there in place already with the Bears. So now you add this kid, less pressure to be good right away, as opposed to if he went to a New England, so to speak. I think he's going to have time to develop and get his chemistry with Caleb. Our guy Ozzie Trapillo goes there. I mean, they had a great draft class. I think the Texans as well. I'll get more into them after you give me a team.
Yeah.
But the Bears really jumped out to me. I think they're going to be a playoff team this season.
I think they had the second surprising pick of the draft. I'll give the Jaguars trading up and taking Travis Hunter as a surprise. But Colson Loveland at 10. Everyone had Tyler Warren, TE1 off the board.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson is saying, hey, we got Cole Kmet, we're good. Give me a high ceiling. I'll scheme this guy open. Give me a receiver. Luther Burden fell to them. They couldn't pass up on him.
Sure.
Keenan Allen no longer with the team. Receiving room is pricey. Now they have their top two receiving, and Rome Odunze. Top three receiving threats. And their quarterback, cost control, next 4 years.
Yep.
Minimum between all of them. Trapillo just feels like a bear, man.
He does.
Could play right, could play left. Needs to develop a little, but he'll be a good pro for a long time.
He does.
Shamar Turner was playing with a stress fracture this last season. Just got a guy that'll wreak havoc in the middle. Loved that. Zoff Frazier, one of my favorite draft picks
Big
in
Zoff.
the entire draft. Dude, this guy, when you look up his profile, got it right here. 6'3", 185, 4'3", 640, 33-inch arms.
Woo.
How many 6'3" corners running a sub 4'4", 40 are you going to get when the Bears got him?
Woo.
Smart. And the last pick in the draft, the geniuses that they are in Chicago, Kyle Monangai, a running back out of Rutgers. Yeah. Kyle Monangai, a product of New Jersey, born and raised. Best draft pick you can make is anyone out of Jersey.
I would have rather the Patriots take him than a kicker or a long snapper.
I wanted them taking Monangai in the 7th. I would have loved it. First one I loved, the Chiefs. Josh Simmons falls to you at 32. If you can get the most out of his character, if he's healthy, that's your left tackle, and you don't got to worry about it for the next 12 years. Omar Norman Lott, next pick, the guy I loved, I want the Patriots to get. Perfect relief for Chris Jones, all about getting to the quarterback. Played in a NASCAR-type package when it was a Tennessee low snap count. Ashton Gelati, our producer Ethan, that was his guy in the draft. Next, George Karlaftis. Okay, cool. You got your second line out there on the edge.
Sure.
Jalen Royals, such a high ceiling as a receiver. Love him with the creativity of Andy Reid. And then they get Brashard Smith. I mentioned it. 190 picks after Travion Henderson went. Former wide receiver, now a running back. How they use their running backs. I hope he works out, and I hope Brett Veach revisits a Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick and goes Patrick. That's why we're never taking a running back at 32 ever again, no matter how much you love him. Who's another team you loved their draft?
Texans.
Yeah.
You could literally take the Texans draft and put it in New England, and I would have said the Patriots won the draft. I'm hating a little because the Texans got all these guys, and I did not want to see them in the AFC at all. Like, that's why I went with the Bears as my favorite, because it's out of sight, out of mind. Patriots don't have to deal with that. Now I have to watch these Texans draft picks absolutely haunt the Patriots for the next 10 years, and it's going to drive me nuts. They got two, not one, but both wide receivers from Iowa State that I wanted. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, both the Texans got. And we both and both of us know too, with both of those guys, George, they have a lot of injury, concerns and issues at wide receivers for the Texans. So to bring in both those guys and inject them into a well-oiled machine, quite frankly, I think both of those dudes will have an opportunity to shine early and often. And they also got Ursary as well, the tackle that we both like. So the Texans had a fantastic draft, and it drove me nuts watching their draft picks each and every round, because it was like, damn, these are all players we talked about and evaluated for the Patriots.
Yep.
And it felt very Patriot draft to me.
When I was looking at the board, Woody Marks, who I said I would love the Patriots to get, they got him too.
Yeah.
Really good pass catching back.
Sure did.
Change of pace back.
Sure
Perfect
did.
compliment to Joe Mixon.
Yep.
No, loved the Texans draft. Jaden Higgins. They just went best available.
Yeah.
Jaden Higgins, Aaronte Ursary. Then they get to Jalen. And lucky for them, it was pass catcher, which they need.
That's
offensive
right.
tackle, which they need. Jalen all falls to them. You go, there's no way they do it.
Yep.
They did it. They need good slot receivers, especially with Tank Dell banged up. And Christian Kirk is a one-stop shop, one season. They're just going to have a lot of weapons for C.J. Stroud. When I was looking back on it, I love how the Colts drafted. Never thought I'd say that.
They had a great draft.
Tyler Warren falls to them. They had to get better down the middle.
Yeah.
Whoever's their quarterback struggled throwing across the middle. They had to get better there. JT Tuimoloau, all-around good edge. They went edge last year in the first round. They go it again in the second. You got your bookends. Then they get Jalen Travis out of Iowa State, 6'7", 340.
Yep.
9'4" broad jump. Arms are almost 35 inches long. Good in pass pro. Massive human being with really light feet. Moves like a basketball player.
Yeah.
Needs to get the pad level down. But that's a good developmental tackle that will be a starter. And then they get DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. Jonathan Taylor Light.
No, you're right.
149, 10-yard split. 95 percentile on the vertical, 98 percentile on the broad. Just so explosive. Laterally quick, too. Just no hole becomes a hole because he could slip in and out of cuts so easily.
Yeah.
Really good vision. Really good processing. Raw's pass pro. Raw's a blocker. But when Jonathan Taylor gets going and gets out, DJ Giddens will be the guy. I loved how the Colts
No
drafted.
jersey love for Jonathan Taylor?
That's
You're
my
just gonna
guy.
gloss
That's my
over
guy.
that?
You know that's my guy.
That's your dude.
But I understand how you build a team and how you look at it. I understand that. Who were your one of your favorite players that were picked? You like the landing
Luther
spot?
Burden
Yeah.
to the Bears.
Yeah.
Here's some other teams I did like real quick. I thought the Jets had a great draft.
They did.
Get Membu. I like Mason Taylor to tight end. I actually believe in Justin Fields to a certain extent. I was talking about this on the last Foxborough Rush. When it comes to fantasy football, I believe in Justin Fields. I think he's going to have a tremendous season, and it's a guy I have my eye on come draft time. I don't know if the Jets are going to be any good in reality because it is the Jets.
Yeah.
But I actually thought Justin Fields played really well before he got benched in Pittsburgh. And I kind of thought that was premature to bench him when they did and bring in Russell Wilson. We saw how that worked out. So I think Fields will have a really good fantasy experience with the Jets.
Yeah.
And then I like the Ravens too. Malachi Starks, a safety. Like, they didn't even need this guy, George. They just did it because he was best available, and their roster's so loaded that they're like,
Baltimore
all
always
right,
does.
he's there. Bring him on. And he's the best safety in the damn draft class. I think he's going to be a star. I also like how they got Mike Green, the pass rusher, a guy that we talked about possibly coming here to New England. Well, yeah, he has character issues. Well, guess what the Ravens do? They take all those dudes and they surround them with veterans.
Yep.
And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. If this kid does work out at the value that they got him when they got him, second round, I mean, he's going to be an absolute stud for them. It feels so Ravens to me. But as far as the best player and my favorite player in this draft, outside of the obvious, like I like Cam Ward, I like Genty, I like a lot of these big name guys, but I think Luther Burden is really going to be the one that we look back on, particularly the fit going to Chicago. It's just going to work. They have so many weapons. They have weapons galore. They improve the offensive line. Caleb gets rid of the ball very quickly. He's accurate. He processes fast when he has time. I think this kid Luther Burden is going to be a star, dude.
Yeah.
I really do.
And he doesn't have to play right away.
Right.
But really good with the ball in his hands when he gets it quick. It's perfect. Guy underneath. An outlet for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hold on to the ball too long. What Jared Goff did
Yep.
with those short, quick completions.
Yeah. Yes, it
Ben
works.
Johnson scheming it for Luther Burden.
Yep.
I love the Jets
Get
too.
that
Armand
yak.
Membu. Yeah. Olu Fashu on your left side, 22 years old.
Yep.
Armand Membu on your right side, 21. You got the best offensive line in the NFL. Best tackle tandem potentially. And I love it too because all the questions were Armand Membu, if the Patriots needed a right tackle or if he played left, he would have been taken at 4.
Yeah.
You don't have to, and the whole thing was, but can he play left tackle? We don't know. Never have to find out. Fashanu
That's
left
right.
tackle, Membu at right, AZ Thomas out of Florida State, Malachi Moore too.
Yep.
No, I love that. Players that I love to pick. You ready for this one, man?
Yep.
I was holding on to this one. Caleb Lohner out of Utah. His senior season with the Utes. 4 catches, 57 yards as a tight end. That's it. And the Broncos took him. 4 touchdowns. 4 catches, 4 touchdowns. 6'8", 250 pounds. Formerly a basketball player. Played at BYU, Baylor, Utah, then say, hey, I'll go play football. You know what Sean Payton did, man? Jimmy Graham, 3rd-round pick, basketball player to Miami. Caleb Lawner, come on down, baby. He didn't even have a picture on the NFL.com.
Oh, my God. That's gross.
I love that draft pick.
That's dumb.
Just for the idea of it and just for the why not swing for it and go.
To be fair, just for context, you also love long snappers.
Yes.
And kickers
I'm
getting
sick.
drafted.
I need help. Another one I love, Jordan James, 49ers, late-round pick. Good all-around back. He'll eat in that Shanahan scheme. Jordan Mason didn't live up to what he wanted to be. They have Isaac Guerrero. Christian McCaffrey's banged up.
Yep.
I'm saying this now, and I really hope my buddies that are in my league aren't listening. 12th round, 13th round comes around. Jordan James is on the board for the 49ers. Take him. Take him. I'm going to take him in every fantasy draft I have.
I believe you.
Then Savion Williams, 6'3".
I will not.
I'm telling you, take him, T. 6'3", 220, 4'4", 840. Moves athletically and twitchily like he's 5'10", 190. How did he fall to the 3rd? Not much between the ears. I don't know if he can read a cover 2 defense. But what TCU was doing was he had him throwing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns from the running back spot, catching them. You go to Matt LaFleur and the Packers, perfect landing spot. He'll scheme you open. He'll tell you where to go. Just catch that ball from Jordan Love. I think it's a match made in heaven, my man.
You drafting him in fantasy too?
Yeah, buyer beware. He'll be a hit and miss. You need consistency. Jordan James will be consistent. All right, let's talk a little. We were talking about it last day of the draft, or day 2 more, of Shador falling. Eventually goes to the Browns. 144th overall pick. It was interesting, man. And the longer it went, the more teams passed up. The Browns themselves going Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. It just showed the draft is more than the tape. The draft is more talent. The draft is also the process leading up.
Yeah.
The reports coming out, he was disinterested in meetings with teams. He was
bombed them.
unprofessional.
Yeah, he sandbagged interviews, basically.
Purposely throwing it.
Yeah.
Man, the NFL circles are too small.
Yeah.
And it's also, there's twofold with this. Teams knew, all right, if the kid's going to act like this, who's to say he's not going to do this to disrespect the head coach he's not happy with? And then the cloud is there of it's Dion. Lose a few games. Because it was with Shador. I remember asking Matt Miller in October.
Yeah.
Does Dion affect Shador's stock? And he goes, I don't know what you're going to get. Is it just Shador or is it just Dion? It turned out during the draft process, the teams were telling us, you're getting both, and they're all saying, I don't want any part of it except for the Browns.
I'm going to agree and disagree.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, he slid, so what is there really to debate here? We'll never really know the real answer. My theory is, though, I don't necessarily think it's everything you're saying. I think you're almost incomplete. I believe everything you're saying with the caveat of he's not good enough for that game plan that they had. Like not throwing at the Senior Bowl and practicing and playing, not doing it at the combine, not, sandbagging interviews. If this kid is as good as he thinks he is, then that isn't the worst game plan. We've seen that game plan work. And I know everyone's quick to use the Mannings as an example, right? Well, their dad was involved, and they blocked Eli going to the Chargers and all that kind of stuff. But Eli, there was no question coming out of Ole Miss, and same with Peyton, obviously, coming out of Tennessee, where they projected at the next level.
Yeah.
There were questions around Shador. So I actually think the opposite game plan that they had would have been more beneficial to him now. Yeah. Throw at everything. Go to every interview. Do great.
Yeah.
Earn it. And he probably would have went to the Giants at 3. But I think because of the game plan they had and believing that this kid is better than he is, it just torpedoed everything.
Yeah.
So it obviously I think it can serve as an example to other up and coming players. But I think the Dion aspect and the chains and rapping and all that, I don't think it would matter if his talent level was up to par with that kind of attitude. I think teams would have just said, this is who this guy is, but his talent is too great to pass up. What happened is when you get all that other stuff with it and the talent wasn't there, that's why the free fall happened.
Yeah. I think what you have with Shador is that the draft told us it's a complete package when you're drafting a quarterback.
Yes.
You can be You can interview poorly.
Yes.
You can whiteboard poorly.
Yes.
And if you got the talent, teams will still take you.
That's what I'm saying.
And here's the thing with Shedeur. He was a first-round quarterback by some because it was a weak quarterback class.
Yeah, that's right.
No elite traits. He's accurate. He can throw a platform. He's athletic.
Tough.
He's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's cold. He's got ice in his veins. That's fine.
Yes.
But you got to search for it.
Right.
If you don't do anything elite and you interview poorly and test poorly and all of that.
And you've only been coached by your dad.
Yeah, since he was in high school.
He hasn't had a different coach.
It was, Deion was his OC in high school, his head coach at Jackson State and in Colorado.
That's worrisome.
What's the trend going to be?
That's right.
Let's hire Deion.
That's right.
Shedeur and Deion both learned, let Shedeur be Shedeur. He's a good player. I think he can be an NFL quarterback.
I think he's going to start for the Browns.
If you let him be on his own, he would have been fine. Maybe he goes top 3 rounds. Maybe he goes first. But what did Brian Dable say to Jackson Dart after he was picked on the phone call? The Giants posted it. You crushed the process.
Mm-hmm.
The process is the interviews, the testing, the meeting the people. Shedeur failed that. So when you're not elite at anything and you got the Deion cloud following you and you're disrespecting the process and these 32 GMs and owners and coaches, they're not going to take you. Because when you are the quarterback, you are the face of the franchise. When you're drafted, Tyler Shuck's different. When you're Shedeur, when your last name's Sanders, you could be coming in as a backup.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to say, when's Shedeur going to start? You can't. You have to be mature. You have to be professional. You can be you. You can be you. Rap. Do everything. The celebrations, the watch. I'm fine with that. Cam Ward did this all season long. He went 1-1. Be him. But everything you heard about Cam Ward, everyone loved him in the interview process. What we were reading about and hearing about with Shedeur is there's a lot of question marks. It was disrespect. It was unprofessionalism.
Yeah.
When you are the quarterback, it's always different. You could be unprofessional and be a wide receiver and edge rusher. Fine. You got talent. Teams will take you. Eventually, you're a starter. They'll take you. But at the QB position, everyone's looking at you in that locker room. And you got to be someone they look up to and want to follow. And the teams want you to follow. And Shedeur's not that right now. I hope he becomes that.
With that being said, I think he will become it. I think he'll get an opportunity to earn that Browns job because that quarterback room's a mess.
Yeah.
So I think he will be able to do that. I still, though, now reflecting back, still say shame on you to all the teams that waited till the 5th round, but particularly Nollins and the Steelers. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm absolutely ticked off.
Yeah.
The Saints, you went Shuck instead of this guy, really? And then the Steelers, you went Will Howard instead of come on, bro. So I think a lot of teams will regret not taking him, but those two in particular will.
Even the Raiders with the Tom Brady connect.
Even the Raiders to a certain extent, although I do believe they believed in Genty and wanted to go that direction. Mm-hmm. The Giants, I also believe, really like Jackson Dart. And we heard the reports Dable and Shedeur didn't really mesh very well.
Again.
And Jackson Dart did. So that makes sense.
And if you're Shedeur Sanders, you want to play for Brian Dable.
I know.
He develops QBs.
He got real cocky. He thought the Giants were going to take him at 3, and that was a mistake.
And it's the same thing we say about some of these young athletes that make mistakes. Man, the people in their circle telling them what to do aren't the right leaders. That's on his dad.
It's a cautionary tale now. Don't you think? Like now other players can look at this, and it's a cautionary tale.
Last one I got on this. Little conspiracy theory, though.
Yep.
So the Browns took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd.
That's right.
We all saw Andrew Berry's reaction when Shedeur Sanders was picked. Not smiling, not clapping, not celebrating.
Looked like a hostage situation.
I think Dylan Gabriel gets picked in the 3rd. Haslam's pick up the phone. They go, what are you doing? Shedeur's right there.
Yeah.
Take him.
Yeah.
You just took a quarterback.
Right.
And it's Dylan Gabriel who's not good. Dylan Gabriel shouldn't have been a 3rd-round pick.
He's small, and what are you doing?
Because it doesn't make sense how they drafted.
No.
So I'm thinking, again, that was a pick from above.
Yeah.
But that's the same owner that gave 100% guaranteed money to Deshaun Watson. He said, let's bring in Shedeur
Browns
Sanders.
are going to brown.
If you're enjoying the show, be sure to check out Netson's Daily Sports Podcast. Boston has entered the chat. We talk about all of the trending sports news in Boston and around the country. Available on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. All right, T, let's get to the mailbag. Appreciate everyone commenting on the YouTube videos. First one. This is a long one, but I love this one. Okay. Any Pat 24. I hear you with Campbell was the safe pick.
Yeah.
But is that what you want and do at number 4 overall? I guess they tried to trade out of it, but wasn't getting the desired minimum value wanted. That also goes to show you that none of the teams who drafted left tackle prospects in the 1st round thought any of the left tackles were blue chip or all pro potential.
Right.
His floor is solid player on the field at left tackle, which the Patriots have had success in the past with. Matt Light, Nate Solder, yeah. However, none of those guys were top 5 picks. It's telling that you think or said in a few years they would draft and upgrade a left tackle, spending a top 4th overall pick. I understand he's a Vrabel guy, fits with the culture being built or rebuilt in Foxborough. But for me personally, I preferred Banks or Simmons, understand the health issue and the character concern, sounds bogus, who have higher ceiling as a long-term, pure left tackle. Great comment. Yes. But you know what? 2-3 years from now, if this is looking like an all-pro offensive line, where it's Jared Wilson, it's Will Campbell, and then fill in the blank at left tackle, and then you figure out right guard,
that's
right
a
tackle. Win. Who cares how you got to that end process?
Doesn't matter.
And this draft is unlike last year's draft.
Yep.
A lot of offensive linemen went in the first round again.
Yep.
But there wasn't
one.
There wasn't Joe Alt.
Yeah.
There wasn't Olu Fashanu.
Right.
There wasn't Taliese Fuaga, who flipped from right side to the left side for the Saints.
Right.
Troy Faltonu, who actually ended up playing inside for the Steelers. But I think is a good left tackle, could be. There just wasn't that pedigree of left tackle.
Yeah.
Raise the floor. Because, and this is also a great comment, Pat24. The last 2 guys you talk about, Kelvin Banks or Josh Simmons. If Josh Simmons' health and character concerns weren't an issue, he would have been taken at 4. If Kelvin Banks was a left tackle, he would have went 4. If Armand Membu was a left tackle, he would have went 4. Those teams know more than we do. The draft is telling us Will Campbell is the best offensive lineman's draft, and the Patriots went with that.
Yeah. To answer your question, yes, it is. Like, is that what you really want? At 4 is a safe pick? Yes, I do. Like, that's exactly what I want. I even, going back to last year's draft, I hated the draft class, but at number 3 overall in the first round, the safe pick, the smart pick, the logical pick was to take the best quarterback available on the board, and that was Drake May. And they did that. That's exactly what I want at 3 and 4 and 5, quite frankly. Give me the safe pick. If it's a great draft class and there's a generational guy, well, guess what that means? That's the safe pick. Take the generational cat. I mean, if Travis Hunter was there at 4, I could say that's a safe pick. Like, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I get what you're saying. You would have preferred a higher upside or whatever, and maybe roll the dice there. Not at 4. I don't want to roll the dice at 4. I want safe at 4. If I'm at 11 and it's a couple guys to pick from, maybe I'll roll the dice there. At 4, nah, brah. Give me that safe pick, please. 401k style. I'll take it. This is not the time to roll dice at 4.
Worst offensive line in the NFL got the best offensive lineman. If they had solutions and they only needed a left tackle, they would have been a trade back, and they also didn't get many offers.
Well, they didn't get right.
Paul_PP, trading back from 77 to 85 and getting the best center prospect in the draft. And also adding a future 2026 4th-round pick from Chicago is an underrated move. That 2026 4th-rounder is a piece that can be used as trade bait when a veteran becomes available via trade.
Sure.
Paul, good comment, my man.
Yeah, it is.
Or you combine that with your other 4th, move up into the 3rd.
Yeah. Also
something I've learned, too, because I'm the one, well, a future 3rd is really a 4th. Teams get better. No, a future 3rd's a 3rd. I'm just going to, that's my own rule. I'm not going to knock anyone for thinking the other way. But when the draft rolls around, we go, they got 2 third-round picks. They got 2 top 100 picks in the 3rd. That's great. Okay, so when a team, you give up a 3rd or you gain a 3rd, great job. You got another top 100 pick. You didn't get 8. Well, it's going to be equivalent of a 4th. Nope, I'm not buying into that. Wes April 4591. Campbell will be the left tackle for the next decade. The fact that people think the arms is an issue is nuts. Kid has been at the top of his position with the same arms for 4 years in the SEC. Ask Jaden Daniels if he's bothered by Will's arm length.
This one's at you, George.
There's a difference of being a left tackle and offensive tackle in college and the NFL. There just is. Everyone in the NFL is long. Everyone in the NFL is elite athletically. Everyone in the NFL decreases the margin for error, and that's what Will Campbell has, very slim. When you're playing on the island at offensive tackle, there's a reason arm measurement matters. And it's not the arms, it's the wingspan. Yeah. Just remember that. The wingspan is crazy, crazy underneath of what the threshold is for the NFL. RBP Pool Guy 50. I'll come swim at your pool this summer. Between free agency, draft, and a new high-end coaching staff, Pats fans have to be happy.
No doubt, bro. I mean, this even goes back to Paul _PP's comment, where he was like, well, you could use a 4th round as a piece that could be trade bait for when a veteran becomes available. I mean, look, I think between the draft and free agency and the high-end coaching staff, as you said, it's true. But you could also use those future picks to draft picks too, depending where you're at. I just think where this team now is positioned for whatever happens. If they struggle this year and they need to continue to rebuild, they have the draft assets and draft capital to do that, George. If they're competing and it feels like this could be a wild card situation, then they can go get a veteran player. So, yes, we all should feel good around here.
Joao Fernandez 1397. Got to be honest, guys, don't love Kyle Williams. He struggles with route running, and the most important thing for a receiver, I think we should have picked Savion Williams. No at the end. Not
That's where he lost you. He lost you.
Yeah. Kyle Williams is going to be okay. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. Mike T, 104. Steve Smith Sr. said this kid is the second best receiver in the draft. From Inglewood, won't ever back down. Said this is the closest receiver to him in this draft. He said he plays way faster than his time speed. Thinks kid is a stud. Talking about Kyle Williams. Yeah, I don't love him because Steve Smith Sr. endorsed him. I love him because he's good. Yeah. I like the similar Steve Smith Sr. comps. Doesn't carry the weight the same way, but got that dog in him and does play bigger than his frame, faster than what his speed is. Mr. Fagawi. Love you two. Great content. Greetings from Germany. Hey. Thank you, Mr. Fagawi. I got to learn how to say thank you in German.
Shout outs, bro.
Dwayne Roberts, 6616. With Henderson in the backfield, we can help Will. Plus, McDaniels will scheme to Will's strength and help his pass pro. This draft was the best in years. Vrabel absolutely blew me away, taking offensive players first and foremost. I really thought he'd take more defensive players like most defensive-minded coaches. Hey, Vrabel went defensive free agency. Yeah. He went offense in the draft. They got a lot younger in this draft.
Great
Between
draft.
the UDFAs and the draft picks, they have like 30-plus new players now on this roster right now.
Outside of a long snapper and a kicker, I thought it was excellent.
It's a lot of guys. He's Travis Thomas from Georgia Balekji. Thank you guys for the comments. Love y'all. Draft coverage will keep going. Patriots talk will keep going. Foxborough Rush. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll see you later this week.